Hello and welcome back to another 3 a.m. production video. This week we're going to be talking about Double Trouble. Yes, that's right, Chip and Dale, just a couple of crazy rascals out to have some fun. And when they're looking for trouble, you can bet it gets done well. Newer to the catalog of classic Disney characters, they can be seen with less design changes over the years than some of the more notorious characters like Mickey or Donald. Originally debuting in a Pluto short called Private Pluto, but the first time we see them more as actual chipmunks would look. They were done kind of in the same style as the chipmunks from Snow White. And even in the first shorts that they appeared in, they go nameless. They were meant to be these disposable characters that just kind of found a niche in disrupting the lives of other popular Disney characters. But starting with Pluto, they worked their way up, messing with Mickey and Pluto, and eventually working up to Donald Duck. Now in the Donald Duck shorts, it's where they end up adopting their names and taking on more cartoony characteristics. And it's also where we start seeing distinguishes in their appearances over time. These characteristics tend to fluctuate slightly, but more of color tones and personality, becoming what we know and love them as today. Chip having his little black nose and being the more schemer of the two, is seen a little less ruffled than Dale, whereas Dale is seen a little less put together. Now, starting off with these characters, the voices were sped up so fast that you could barely understand what they were saying at all, even if you could. But over time, they slowed it down, and even though they're a little squeaky, it's intelligible enough to make out. They grew to such popularity in the Donald Duck shorts that they ended up getting 3 of their own episodes, just to themselves. But it was seemingly decided that they do better terrorizing other Disney characters than just sticking to their own lonesomes. But in those 3 shorts, we see them take on the same love interest and fight over who should get the girl. We also see them terrorize a rooster on a farm, while causing a ruckus, to finally putting the name Kimosabi to the test in a duke out with Pete in the Days of Cowboys. These two make cameos in Christmas movies a lot, but in one such short, they end up accidentally almost putting Pluto on the naughty list when their tree that they live in ends up in Mickey's house. And as revenge, they decide to take it out and try to get Pluto in trouble. Now this led them up to the late 80s, early 90s, where they got to star in their own show, Rescue Rangers, in which we see their personalities trying to help out their fellow critters, taking on clothes and guises of prominent action heroes of the time. Chip's clothes remind us of Indiana Jones, and Dale reminds us of Tom Selleck's Magnum P.I. But originally, they weren't supposed to be in the show at all. Originally, it was a pitch for The Rescuers, but due to the development of the sequel, Rescuers Down Under, they decided to go against that, so they created a new character. But it wasn't really selling anybody on the project, so Michael Eisner came in and said it should be popular Disney characters. So they decided upon Chip and Dale. But in the show, we see them travel around and save critters in San Francisco with their new friends, seeing them commonly go up against Fat Cat, the antagonist of most of their stories, voiced by the talented Jim Cummings, who also, in subsequent Season 2 and 3, plays one of their best friends, Monterey Jack. Although set in San Francisco, I do find it funny that in the Russian dub of the show, the translation for Chip and Dale actually became Chip and Chap. After the show ended, we see them seemingly go back into obscurity of making cameos, and they ended up in the House of Mouse as common patrons, as well as their shorts playing at the House of Mouse, before not too long ago getting their own live-action movie in which they play CGI and toon-shaded versions of their characters, playing off the popularized idea that all of the Disney characters are actors playing various roles. One of the Easter eggs in that movie is a poster of Double O Dale, a sneaky little Easter egg to a show that Disney was producing in the 90s called Double O Duck. But when they found out that the copyright for Double O was owned by the Fleming family, they had to scrap it, and it ended up becoming Darkwing Duck. The same voice actress reprised her role as Gadget since the series, also played Chip in the original series. This movie became the 3rd live-action animated film, with 2 animated male characters to team up with 1 real woman character. Besides that was Tom and Jerry and the Adventures of Rock and Bullywink. Though this movie got the green light, its 1990s counterpart did not. Due to the lackluster results of the DuckTales movie, Disney decided not to make the Rescue Rangers movie. Even though this film appreciates all animation in its stages, and even poking fun at some of the tropes that are in animated films and cartoons and shorts, it never actually addresses Chip and Dale outside of the Rescue Rangers. And some people have assumed that maybe the Chip and Dale of the early shorts and cartoons are not the Chip and Dale that are in Rescue Rangers, leading them to be two separate sets of actors in their respective continuity. Whereas Donald Duck has been Donald Duck since the beginning to the end. And although this duo's name is based off of a cabinet maker, it's not hard to see why these two brothers have worked their way in with their nutty disposition, their whimsical wit, their chatty charm, and their cheeky charm have inspired us and reminded us that all work and no play can be very boring, and that fun is out there if you look hard enough. But let's not confuse this duo with Alvin and the Chipmunks. Yes, I addressed that to you, crazy lady. I overheard in the parks one day, saw these characters, and thought they were Alvin and Chipmunks. 2 versus 3, sweaters versus none. There's differences. I'd like to all thank you for joining me. I hope you had a nutty time. If you drew along with the video, please post in the comments below a picture of what you drew. I'd love to see it. Please like and subscribe if you feel so inclined. But we'll see you next time. Take care.